Episode 31, The War Master's Arrival. The maintenance drones continued their work outside the viewport, oblivious to the weight of history being made inside Starbase 447. Dex watched them for a moment longer, their simple movements grounding him in the familiar rhythms of his old life. Measure, adjust, repair. One task at a time. 8 hours, Elara said softly beside him, checking her datapad. War Master Vek'thar's ship just cleared the outer beacons. Dex nodded, filtering his perception down from 17 dimensions to 3 with the mental discipline Elara had taught him. The effort was becoming easier, though he knew the multidimensional awareness would never truly leave him. He could feel the probability streams still branching and collapsing at the edges of his consciousness, showing him futures where this meeting went well, futures where it didn't, futures where everything changed in ways he couldn't predict. "You're doing it again," Elara said, touching his arm, "watching too many dimensions at once." "Sorry," he squeezed her hand. "It's just, a Thrin War Master hasn't left his homeworld in 43 cycles. That's 43 years, Elara, and he's coming here. For me. Not just for you," she corrected gently, "for what you represent. For the choice you're making." The door chimed. Admiral Strand entered, looking like he hadn't slept in days. Behind him came Garrett, carrying a thermal container that smelled like real coffee, the expensive kind from Earth, not the station's synthesized version. "Thought you might need this," Garrett said, setting the container on the small table. "Figured if you're going to make history today, you should at least be properly caffeinated." Dex felt a surge of gratitude for his old mentor. "You didn't have to do that." "Course I did." Garrett poured 4 cups with practiced efficiency. "Besides, I wanted to see you before things get crazy. Once that War Master arrives, this whole station is going to lose its mind." "Security is already at maximum protocols," Strand confirmed, accepting a cup. "We've had to expand the diplomatic quarter by 3 sections just to accommodate the Thrin delegation. Vek'thar is bringing his honor guard, 12 warriors, each one a veteran of the border wars. The symbolism alone." He trailed off, shaking his head. "What?" Dex asked. "In Thrin culture, the honor guard only accompanies the War Master when witnessing events of supreme historical significance. The last time Vek'thar traveled with his full guard was for the signing of the Galactic Accord, 68 years ago. Before that, it was the end of the Thrin-Korvathi conflict, 93 years before that." Elara set down her cup carefully. "So this isn't just a diplomatic visit." "No," Strand said. "This is Vek'thar declaring to the entire galaxy that what happens today matters, that Dex's choice to become the Seeker is an event that will reshape interspecies relations for generations." The weight of that statement settled over the room like a physical presence. Dex felt the probability streams shift and collapse, futures narrowing toward this single point in time. "No pressure, though," Garrett said dryly, earning a weak laugh from everyone. Dex sipped his coffee, savoring the rich, bitter taste. Real Earth coffee. He wondered how many more simple pleasures like this he'd experience before the Seeker's journey took him too far from home to return easily. "I've been thinking about what I'm going to say," Dex said. "At the inquiry. I know you prepared that statement, Admiral, but—" "Use your own words," Strand interrupted. "I realized that last night. The galaxy doesn't need to hear diplomatic language right now. They need to hear you, the maintenance worker who refused ultimate power and chose wisdom instead." "That's what Kreshtal said too," Dex admitted. "He called it blade truth, direct, honest, no soft speech." "The Thrin understands something we humans often forget," Garrett said. "Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is tell the simple truth, even when it's terrifying." Elara's datapad chimed. She glanced at it, then at Dex. "Sarah Chen is asking if she can see you before the inquiry. She says it's important." Dex felt a knot form in his stomach. Sarah Chen, Admiral Chen's sister, the woman whose brother he'd killed. He'd been expecting this conversation, dreading it, but knowing it had to happen. "Tell her yes," he said. "She deserves answers." "Are you sure?" Elara asked. "You don't have to." "I do," Dex said firmly. "Her brother died because of choices I made. She has a right to understand why." Strand nodded approvingly. "I'll arrange for her to meet you in conference room 7. It's private, secure. I'll have Kreshtal stand guard outside." "Thank you," Dex said. They finished their coffee in companionable silence, the weight of the approaching day hanging over them, but not crushing them. Dex found himself grateful for these quiet moments, the calm before the storm of history. Conference Room 7 was smaller than the others, more intimate. Sarah Chen was already waiting when Dex and Elara arrived, standing by the viewport and looking out at the stars. She turned as they entered, and Dex saw the resemblance to her brother immediately. The same sharp cheekbones, the same dark eyes, though hers held grief instead of fanatical certainty. "Miss Chen," Dex said, "thank you for coming." "I needed to see you," she said quietly, "before you make your announcement, before everything changes." Elara moved to stand beside the door, giving them space but remaining present. Sarah noticed and nodded gratefully. "I've been reading my brother's journals," Sarah continued. "Everything he wrote, from the academy until the end. Trying to understand when he changed, when the man I knew became someone who could orchestrate mass murder." Dex said nothing, letting her speak. "I found it," she said. "The exact moment. 3 years ago, after the Korvathi incident, he wrote, 'I finally understand. I see the pattern now. I know what must be done, and I'm the only one with the courage to do it.' That's when he stopped questioning himself. That's when he became certain." She pulled out a small data chip. "I wanted you to have this. His journals, not as evidence. Admiral Strand already has copies. But because you need to understand what you're fighting against, what Representative Zhao represents." "Zhao?" Dex asked. Sarah's expression hardened. "I've met him, spoken with him. He has the same certainty my brother had, the same absolute conviction that he alone can see the truth. He's forming a coalition, gathering support to challenge your claim to become the Seeker. And he's using the same arguments my brother used to justify Project Reclamation, that humanity needs someone willing to do what's necessary to claim power for our protection." Dex felt the probability streams shift around Zhao's name, showing futures where the man succeeded, futures where he failed, futures where his certainty led to catastrophe. "Why are you telling me this?" Dex asked. Sarah met his eyes directly. "Because you're afraid. Because you doubt yourself. Because you destroyed the Crucible instead of using it, even though using it would have made you powerful enough to protect everyone you love. My brother would have used it. Zhao would use it. But you didn't, because you were afraid of what it would make you become." She stepped closer. "That fear is why you should be the Seeker. Not despite it, but because of it. The galaxy doesn't need another person who's certain they're right. We need someone who knows they might be wrong, but chooses to try anyway." Dex took the data chip, feeling its weight in his palm. "I'm sorry about your brother." "So am I," Sarah said. "But I'm not sorry he's dead. That sounds terrible, but it's true. The man who died on Vek'thar wasn't my brother anymore. He'd lost himself to certainty years before. You gave him a faster end than the Crucible would have." She turned back to the viewport. "Make the right choice today, Dex. Not for humanity, not for the Council, not even for the precursors. Make it for everyone, like my brother, who couldn't resist the call of absolute power. Make it so the next generation doesn't have to face what you faced." With that, she left, leaving Dex and Elara alone in the conference room. Elara came to stand beside him. "She's right, you know, about the fear." "I know," Dex said. "Garrett said the same thing. Kresh Tal, too, in his own way. Everyone keeps telling me that being terrified is somehow a qualification." "It is," Elara said, "because it means you still understand the stakes. You haven't convinced yourself that you're special or chosen or destined. You're just a maintenance worker who happened to be in the right place at the right time and made the right choices." Dex laughed, though it came out bitter. "Right choices. I killed people, Elara. I unmade reality itself. I destroyed an artifact that could have reshaped the galaxy. And you're still here," she said firmly. "Still human, still doubting, still afraid. The Crucible would have taken all of that away. It would have made you certain, and that certainty would have destroyed you just like it destroyed 17 civilizations before us." She took his hand. "You asked me to promise I'd stop you if you ever became like Admiral Chen or Zhao. I promised I would. But I also promised to remind you of who you are when you forget. You're Dex Holloway. You notice things other people miss. You fix what's broken. And you refuse to pretend you're something you're not." Dex pulled her close, resting his forehead against hers. Across 17 dimensions, he could see their connection, not just in this moment, but in all the moments yet to come. Probability streams converging on a shared future that terrified and exhilarated him in equal measure. 4 hours until Vek'thar arrives, he said. 6 until the inquiry. Time enough, Elara said. What do you want to do? Dex thought about it, filtering through the 17-dimensional perception to focus on what mattered. I want to have breakfast with Garrett. Real breakfast, not station rations. Then I want to walk through the maintenance tunnels one more time. See the station the way I used to see it. And then I want to meet the War Master and tell him exactly why I'm doing this. No speeches, no diplomatic language, just the truth. Elara smiled. Blade truth. Blade truth, Dex agreed. The maintenance tunnels were exactly as Dex remembered. Narrow corridors lit by dim work lights, the constant hum of air recyclers and power conduits, the smell of lubricant and metal. He'd spent 6 years in these passages, invisible to the station's inhabitants, fixing problems they never knew existed. Garrett walked beside him, not saying much, just being present. They passed Junction 17, where Dex had first met Elara during a diplomatic incident. Level 9, where he'd planted the quantum relay that started everything. The armory access tunnel where he and Elara had hidden, waiting to stop Lieutenant Chen's assassination attempt. Feels like a lifetime ago, Dex said. Was a lifetime ago, Garrett replied. You're not the same person who walked these tunnels 6 months back. No, Dex agreed. But I'm still a maintenance worker, still someone who fixes what's broken. That's not going to change, Garrett said. The Seeker thing, the artifacts, all of it. That's just a different kind of maintenance. Bigger scale, higher stakes, but the principle's the same. You see what's broken, you figure out how to fix it, you do the work. They emerged into the main concourse of the diplomatic quarter, where preparations for the War Master's arrival were in full swing. Thrin honor banners hung from the ceiling, deep crimson with silver glyphs that Dex's enhanced perception could read across multiple dimensions. They spoke of blood honor, pattern breaking, and the witnessing of transformation. Quite a production, Garrett observed. The Thrin don't do anything halfway. Kreshtal's deep voice rumbled from behind them. The massive warrior approached, his ceremonial scars glowing faintly. War Master Vek'thar's ship will dock in 2 hours. He requests audience with Patternbreaker Holloway before the inquiry begins. Private audience? Dex asked. By Thrin law, only you, the Lumineth Matriarch, and War Master Vek'thar may be present. This is Blade Truth meeting. No witnesses, no records. What is spoken remains between those who speak. Dex felt Elara tense beside him, but she nodded. I understand. I'll be right outside, Garrett added. Along with half the station's security, apparently. Kreshtal's expression might have been amusement. Admiral Strand takes no chances with War Master's safety. Nor with yours, Pattern Breaker. You have become valuable to many powers. I'm still just a janitor, Dex said. No, Kreshtal said seriously. You were never just a janitor. You were always the one who sees what others miss. Now you simply do it where everyone can watch. The War Master's ship was unlike anything Dex had seen. Where human vessels were utilitarian and alien ships varied between elegant and bizarre, the Thrin flagship was a statement of purpose. Massive, angular, covered in battle scars that had been left unrepaired as marks of honor. It docked with the precision of a blade strike. Perfect and inevitable. Dex stood in the receiving bay with Admiral Strand, the Lumineth Matriarch hovering beside them in her crystalline form. Elara, Garrett, and Kreshtal waited at a respectful distance. The entire diplomatic corps had assembled, along with representatives from 43 species and what felt like half the station's population watching via feeds. The airlock cycled. War Master Vek'thar emerged. He was enormous. Even by Thrin standards. Nearly 3.5 meters tall, his scaled hide marked with glowing scars that told stories of 100 battles. His honor guard followed, 12 warriors in ceremonial armor, each one radiating barely contained violence. But it was Vek'thar's eyes that captured Dex's attention. Ancient, intelligent, measuring him with an intensity that crossed species barriers. The War Master approached, and the crowd fell silent. Patternbreaker Holloway, Vek'thar said in heavily accented but perfect standard, I have traveled far to witness your choice. Dex felt the weight of 17 dimensions pressing against his consciousness, showing him probability streams where this meeting went 1,000 different ways. He filtered them down, focused on the present moment, and met the War Master's eyes. "War Master Vek'thar," he said, "I'm honored by your presence." "Honor is what I come to speak of," Vek'thar said. "Shall we retire to private council?" Dex nodded. Together, they walked through the parting crowd toward the private conference chamber that had been prepared, the Lumineth matriarch following silently. Behind them, the station held its breath, waiting to see what would emerge from this meeting of three beings who represented the past, present, and future of galactic civilization. The door sealed behind them, and Dex found himself alone with two of the most powerful beings in known space, about to have a conversation that would determine not just his future, but the future of countless worlds. War Master Vek'thar settled into a reinforced chair designed for Thryn physiology. The Lumineth matriarch hovered near the viewport, her crystalline form refracting starlight into patterns that hurt to look at directly. "Speak plainly, pattern breaker," Vek'thar said. "Tell me why you destroyed the crucible instead of claiming its power. Tell me why you choose to seek the other artifacts when you could walk away. Tell me why the Thryn Confederacy should support your claim when Representative Zhao offers certainty and strength." Dex took a breath, centering himself. This was it, the moment where everything would be decided. Not by his multidimensional perception, not by probability streams or quantum signatures, but by simple human truth. "I destroyed the crucible because I was afraid," he said. "Not afraid of dying. I'd already accepted that. I was afraid of what I'd become if I used it. Afraid that the power would make me certain I was right, and that certainty would turn me into another Admiral Chen. Another in a line of people who thought they could reshape the galaxy to match their vision." He met Vek'thar's eyes. "I choose to seek the other artifacts because if I don't, someone like Zhao will. Someone who believes they're strong enough to resist corruption. Someone certain they can wield power without being changed by it. And I've seen what certainty does to people. It destroyed 17 civilizations. It nearly destroyed humanity." The War Master's expression was unreadable. "And why should the Thryn support you? A human who admits fear, who claims no certainty, who offers only doubt and questions." "Because," Dex said quietly, "the Thryn understand that true strength isn't about never being afraid. It's about being afraid and choosing to act anyway. Your warriors carry scars as marks of honor because they survived battles that should have killed them. They were afraid, and they fought anyway, and that's what made them worthy." He gestured to Vek'thar's own glowing scars. "You fought battles across a century, War Master. You've made decisions that cost lives, that changed the course of history. And I'm willing to bet that every single time you were terrified of making the wrong choice. But you made it anyway, because someone had to. That's why you should support me, not because I'm strong or certain or special, but because I'm afraid and I'm going to do this anyway, because no one else will." Silence filled the chamber. The Lumineth matriarch's form pulsed with colors Dex couldn't name. War Master Vek'thar sat motionless, his ancient eyes studying Dex with an intensity that felt like being weighed on cosmic scales. Finally, the War Master spoke. 3,000,000 years, he said. 17 civilizations. All failed because they sought the Crucible's power with certainty in their hearts. You are the first to destroy it. The first to choose wisdom over strength. He rose to his full, imposing height. "The Thryn Confederacy will support your claim as Seeker. More than that, we will pledge blood honor protection. Any who threaten you, threaten the Confederacy itself. Any who seek to prevent your journey, declare themselves enemy of the Thryn people." Dex felt the probability streams collapse and converge, futures narrowing toward this moment. "War Master, you will speak at the inquiry in 2 hours, Vek'thar continued. You will tell the assembled representatives exactly what you told me. Blade truth, pattern breaker. Let them see your fear, let them see your doubt, and let them see that you choose to act despite both." The Lumineth matriarch spoke for the first time, her voice like crystal chimes. "The Council of Ascended Species will also make their support known. You are the Seeker we have waited 3,000,000 years to find. The one who understands that wisdom begins with admitting ignorance." Dex felt the weight of their support settling over him like armor, protective but also confining. Two of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations had just declared their backing. Representative Zhao's coalition wouldn't stand a chance against that kind of pressure. But that also meant Dex's choice was no longer just his own. It belonged to the galaxy now, to history, to the future that would be shaped by what he did next. "Thank you," he managed, "both of you." "Do not thank us yet," Vek'thar said. "The path of the Seeker will test you in ways the Crucible never could. You will face choices that have no right answers. You will sacrifice things you cannot imagine losing. And you will do it knowing that failure means not just your death, but the corruption of artifacts that could destroy civilizations." The War Master moved toward the door, then paused. "But you will not face it alone. That is the difference between you and those who came before." They sought the Crucible in isolation, believing strength meant needing no one. You understand that true strength is knowing when to accept help. With that, he left, his honor guard falling into formation around him. The matriarch remained a moment longer. 1 hour until the inquiry, Dex Holloway. 1 hour until you speak the words that will change everything. Are you ready? Dex thought about Sarah Chen's brother, about the moment certainty had claimed him. He thought about Representative Zhao, forming his coalition with absolute conviction. He thought about 17 civilizations that had approached the Crucible, believing they were special, chosen, destined to succeed where others had failed. And he thought about Elara waiting outside, about Garrett's quiet wisdom, about Kreshtal's blade truth, about all the people who had helped him become someone capable of refusing ultimate power. "No," he said honestly, "I'm not ready. I'm terrified, but I'm going to do it anyway." The matriarch's crystalline form pulsed with what might have been approval. "Then you are more ready than you know." She faded from the chamber, leaving Dex alone with his fear and his choice, and the weight of 3 million years of history pressing against his shoulders. 1 hour until the inquiry. 1 hour until everything changed. He took a breath, filtered his perception down to 3 dimensions, and went to find Elara. Whatever came next, they would face it together. That was the only certainty he needed.
Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures. Thanks for watching our stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic adventures.